Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Avery and I have been reading and studying tarot for about a year now. And the first thing I did when I wanted to start studying tarot is I did like a shit ton of research. Like so much research. I kind of compiled a lot of the questions I had in the beginning and the questions that I know a lot of people still have. And I wanted to do this video so that all those questions could be in one place. So you kind of have like a go-to video for any like random questions you may have about tarot, whether you're just getting started or whether you're just kind of brushing up on basics or you just want to learn some things you didn't know about it. Whatever it is, thank you for coming to this video and watching it. I hope that your questions get answered, and if they don't, comment below and I will answer them. So grab a cup of water, some tea, a beer, whatever you want to drink during this. Obviously I don't know every single little thing there is to know about tarot. I've only been studying it for a year so far. This is the knowledge that I've accumulated that I know can definitely help when you're starting to use tarot. The first question is how tarot started. So literally a really brief history is that there's a lot of theories about how it really got started, but generally it originated in Egypt and then who knows what exact century it was, but it made its way to Europe in the early 14th century, and then it became popular like when the printing press was invented, and that's how like people started getting their own decks and stuff like that. And then people started putting definitions and specific pictures to the cards, and then the Rider-Waite tarot deck was the first like official tarot deck. Pretty much every tarot deck that's existent now is based off of the Rider-Waite tarot deck. So that's a brief history about it. So pretty much tarot is a tool for self-discovery and guidance in your everyday life. It's really a tool to bring insight into specific questions you have regarding your life circumstances. A lot of people say like, oh, it predicts the future and it tells you your future, but really like every decision you make can change the outcome of your future. So there's no real way that tarot can like tell you your future or guarantee your future. It can like predict possible outcomes depending on what decisions you decide to do, but really since nothing's set in stone, there's no way it can actually like predict your future. A lot of people use it during meditation, pulling certain cards to meditate on. You can do it in the morning or in the night. In the morning you do like, what energy can I bring into the day? And then at night you can do, what can I learn from the day I just had, kind of thing. I'll get into that later on in the video, but it's not for predicting your future. It is literally a tool for self-guidance, self-discovery, healing, promoting self-love in your life, how you can love others more, and all that kind of stuff. It's a tool for guidance and self-discovery, bottom line. Which tarot deck should I get? Honestly, a lot of people believe that you have to be gifted a tarot deck, but that's certain people's beliefs. I personally bought my own first tarot deck, and a lot of people I know bought their own. And honestly, it doesn't matter which one you pick as long as you feel connected to it, as long as you can like pick up on the imagery well. My specific deck, the Wild Unknown by Chris Kranz, I loved that deck because it's really, really good for beginners, and the guidebook definitions I found to be really parallel with the interpretations that I was getting from the images on the cards. So I felt that my intuition and her definitions went hand in hand, and it kind of just like boost my readings even more. It really depends on how connected you feel to the deck. And if you don't feel connected and implementing tools to feel connected doesn't work, then you can just gift it to someone else and get a new one or whatever, you know? If it's not working, it's not working. You can base your decision on the colors, the design, the definitions in the guidebook, which is how I chose mine. It's really up to you and no one else because you know your intuition. I know it's kind of difficult in the beginning buying your first deck. If you've never read a tarot deck before, it can be kind of like, oh, is this image easy to read? I would recommend going with the original Rider Tarot deck. I wish I had done that first so I could really understand the images well, because pretty much every single tarot deck is based on that, but I didn't, and that's totally fine. And a lot of people don't. The next question is, what is a spread? A spread is a specific term for different layouts that you can have with your cards, which is like 2 or more cards. You can do 2 cards, you can do 12 cards, you can do literally as many as you want. And spreads are also cool because when you pull multiple cards, the meanings will kind of play off of each other and kind of morph into this storyline, so you have way more detailed answers to your questions. You can assign specific questions to each card, and so the card is answering the specific question that ties into the whole theme of like the base question of what you're asking. I always do spreads. I love spreads so much. I do them more often than I do single cards. When I was first starting out, I started with just like one card at a time reading them. But once you get more comfortable and once you kind of exercise the meanings bouncing off each other and like learning the flow of the storyline, then it's easier to read with spreads. But yeah, it's pretty much just like a specific layout for the cards to more deeply answer your question or questions. How often can I or should I read my tarot cards? Honestly, as often as you want. You can do it once a day, twice a day. You can do it once a week. I wouldn't recommend reading them like before every decision, like should I eat eggs for breakfast? Let me check my tarot cards. Like, I know there's a balance. Some weeks I read them twice a day. Some weeks I read them like once a week. It just depends on like what I'm going through and like where I'm at. And there's no right or wrong amount of times to read them. If you're reading for other people, I think it is good for you to read them consistently, just so you kind of like stay in tune with the energy of your deck and your own energy, and it just kind of helps you practice and whatever. But if you're only doing it for yourself, then just go with what you're feeling. Don't feel any pressure to read them more often than you want or less often than you feel like. Can tarot cards answer my questions? Yes. Pretty much the whole purpose of tarot cards is to answer questions. It's actually really cool because sometimes I like have a certain question, like what's a challenge I'm facing? And then I'll pull the card and it relates so hardcore to like exactly what I'm like going through that day that I'll just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for you, tarot deck. So it's really beautiful, like just how accurate it can be in answering your questions. It's really important to formulate your questions in a specific way. Like, don't be like, am I gonna meet my future partner tomorrow? Or like, how many kids am I gonna have? Or what is the exact date I'm gonna die? Like, those questions are like, they're valid questions, but that's not how the tarot works. And again, they're just there to give you extremely helpful information about your future and guidance about your future, not exact details about your future. Some examples are, how can I prepare to meet my dream partner? What is some advice I need for today? Or how can I improve my relationship with myself? Or how can I improve my relationship with my partner? How can I become the best version of myself? Why am I so stressed? How trauma affects how I view myself? What is a lie my ego tells me? How can I speak more loving to my family? And the list goes on. You can honestly ask whatever you want, just formulate it in a specific way that's not just asking for one specific answer. Like, it's a tool to help you grow, not just give you answers and then you're like, okay, cool, now I know. You know, it's supposed to be helping you grow and being there for you. How is intuition involved in this? So first of all, you are using your intuition to interpret what you see on the images of the cards, and the images are carefully created by the authors, the images and the definitions in the guidebook based on the author's life experiences, what they know about the Rider Waite tarot deck, and their own intuitions individually. So every tarot deck is going to be a little different, but like basically the same. So you're also going to use your intuition to, if you like to read the guidebook definition, you can go off of the definitions as well, which is what I like to do too. And you're using it to relate life circumstances with the meanings and the messages that you're getting from interacting with the cards. You're using it to pick cards out of the deck, like when you're shuffling. If one falls out, like you're using intuition to pick that one out, or whatever ones that you feel drawn to. You're really using your intuition the whole entire time while you're using your tarot cards. It's really a relationship between you, your intuition, and the deck. what does connecting with my deck mean? It's super, super important to connect with your tarot deck, especially when you first buy or receive it. Connecting with your deck really just means becoming familiar with the tarot deck's energy and your energy, so that when you're doing readings, you're not just kind of doing like cold, like, oh, maybe this random card. Like, connecting with it means you're really in tune with the energy of the deck, because everything is energy. Yes, your tarot card deck has energy, and you are energy and have energy. So one way you can do it is carrying it around with you, like in your bag when you're going places, sleeping with it on your nightstand, or in your bed with you. You can do too. I carried it in my purse whenever I went out and always had it kind of near me, and I sleep with it on my nightstand every night. It's really also important too, if you haven't read them in a little while, to reconnect with them. I mean, it's a little different when you're first starting out, but like you can kind of tell if you've taken a break from reading them that like maybe the cards you're pulling aren't as accurate, and it just means that you just need to reconnect your energy with it. And so when you're first starting out, it's really, really important to connect with your deck in order to pull accurate cards relating to your situations, in order to just have accurate readings. Can tarot cards get tired? So this kind of goes along with the last question. No, they can't get tired because they're just a deck of cards. If you feel like you're not connecting as strongly with them, or you're pulling cards that aren't relating, charge up some crystals and place them on top of your deck. You can cleanse them with sage, incense, or like knock the dormant energy out of them, or like through your window you can charge them with the moon's energy. There's a lot of ways that you can like recharge your deck. So they can't get tired, but the energy can kind of get dormant, or especially after someone else has held your deck or used your deck, or if you're giving a reading to someone else, then their energy could be in the deck and you just want to get their energy out and have your energy be connected with it. Are tarot cards and oracle cards the same? They are similar, but they're not exactly the same. Tarot normally has a set number of cards, while oracle cards literally have as many or as little as the author wants. Tarot follows a set deck structure, pretty much based off of the original Rider-Waite tarot deck. Even if like the imagery is a little bit different, pretty much the meanings are all exactly based on it. With oracle cards, there's no set structure to the deck. It's pretty much whatever the author wants it to be. Every single card is unique. Every single like keyword on the card is unique, and definition is unique. And the oracle really gives you a big picture of the question you're asking, while tarot points to more specific details. And tarot usually takes longer to study and like really get acquainted with, just because there's more depth to it and more structure. Oracle cards are like super easy to learn, super easy to pick up and use, especially for beginners. I always viewed tarot cards as like evil and like bad and negative and like everything that comes along with anything evil, like satanic and demonic. Tarot cards are not evil. The first known person to call them evil was an 18th century preacher in the Dominican during a sermon. He was calling them evil in regards to like people using them as like gambling cards. So the bad reputation spiraled from there. So it wasn't even like the cards are evil. It was like they're used for gambling and gambling's evil, so the cards are evil or whatever. That was like the first of the rumor. They're literally just a deck of cards. They don't have a curse on them. They don't have bad energy in them. They're just cards made by a machine, made lovingly by their author in order to help people heal through their life and gain insight into their life. There are more negative cards, such as the devil or death. No, they're not bad cards or evil cards. They literally point to like ending phases in your life, starting anew, maybe to negative aspects in your life or negative habits that you have. So they point to like negative things or like negative energy you might have, but they're not like bad cards or like evil cards, even though it says the devil, which is commonly known to be evil. It really bums me out because I've seen so many movies where tarot deck is used in movies, but it's really in like creepy scenes or like demonic scenes where the tarot is used for like evil or negativity or darkness. It's just not how I or most people use tarot. After doing so much research on them and actually experiencing them, how much I've healed with them, my assumptions were totally false, which I'm so happy to say that I broke those assumptions, because I would have gone through my whole life thinking that tarot was like bad, which it's not. But can ill-intentioned people use them for evil? Yes. Anything can be used for evil. The Bible, a religious system, like a fork, like literally anything, even though it may have not been intended for evil, like there's shitty people out there who are gonna use it for their own like benefit and like use it for evil. So obviously there's a balance, there's healthy and unhealthy, and it just depends on you. So no, tarot cards are not evil. Can they be used for bad? Sure, but it's all about your intentions. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this answered any questions that you have. I'm so stoked that you're learning to use tarot or you're just interested in it, and I hope that you find everything you're looking for and can gain a lot of healing from it. If you have any more questions that you don't have answers to, or just questions off of what I just talked about, please comment below and I'll answer and we can talk about it. I really hope that you find every answer that you're looking for. Obviously, I am kind of just getting started too, so I don't know everything, but the internet is a very plentiful place. Please give this a like if you got anything out of it, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in my future videos, and good luck with everything.